The 12 Spiritual Laws of the Universe. The 12 spiritual laws of the universe lead to uplift our well-being by aligning our minds with clarity and genuine peace. So, what are the 12 laws of the universe? 1. The Law of Divine Oneness. This law focuses on our divine origin. It highlights the fact that we all came from one divine source and that everything in this universe is interconnected. We are nothing without other people, the nature around us, the world we live in, and vice versa. This is why it is vital for us to always think beyond ourselves when we make decisions. Believe it or not, our words and actions will always affect everything around us one way or another. 2. The Law of Vibration. The Law of Vibration states that everything in this universe, seen and unseen, carries energy that is always in constant flow called the vibrations. Nothing in this world is truly at rest. However, one must understand that these vibrations differ in frequency. The chair you're sitting on, your dog, and even your innermost thoughts. Every single thing carries different levels of energy and consequently, different frequencies. 3. The Law of Correspondence, still related to the interconnectedness of the universe. The Law of Correspondence teaches us that patterns can be universal. An example of this would be the 12 archetypes that represent the patterns of behavior and personalities. What you think is only happening to you is actually happening to the rest of the world. Furthermore, your external environment is a reflection of your internal state. The physical world only serves as a mirror of each person's deep-seated thoughts and emotions. 4. The Law of Attraction. The Law of Attraction states that like attracts like. Your power to manifest will determine the chance of you achieving the things you want. However, the law of attraction is more than just manifestation. It is quite similar to the law of vibration in the sense that you need to vibrate in the same frequency of your desired object. Most people think that attracting things means to simply summon them. It takes more than just the mind. You need to tell the universe that you are someone who deserves to receive such blessings. This means that you only seek for things you can give and you can work for. For example, you cannot attract love if the universe knows that you cannot give it. 5. The Law of Inspired Action. From the term itself, the law of inspired action is all about taking the necessary steps in order to achieve what you want. It teaches us that drawing inspiration from our goals should lead us to create realistic plans in order to attain them. This doesn't always mean a huge plan of action. Sometimes, just knowing when and how to start is enough. 6. The Law of Perpetual Transmutation of Energy. The Law of Perpetual Transmutation of Energy tells us all about how the world is in constant motion. Energies are endlessly passed on, evolving or depleting. We often cannot see these changes because most of these processes are intangible. However, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. One perfect example is mood change. Have you ever felt so excited only to be discouraged by someone who is in low spirits? Maybe that person didn't intentionally want to dampen your mood, but his negative energy was naturally passed on to you, immediately transmuting your energy. 7. The Law of Cause and Effect. To be taken quite literally, the law of cause and effect is all about knowing that your actions have corresponding reactions. Nothing is ever done without a consequence, just like the concept of karma in Eastern practices. Everything you do will always find its way back to you. You may not always notice it, but the energy you put out to the world will somehow affect you in return. 8. The Law of Compensation. Quite similar to the law of attraction in the law of cause and effect. This law of compensation is another emphasis on how things will always find their way back to you. However, this specific law talks about how you are going to be rewarded proportionately. This means that your rewards depend greatly on how you have lived your life. 9. The Law of Relativity. The law of relativity tells us that each entity in this world is neutral until they are put together. Think of two apples in separate boxes. Each apple has its own neutral characteristics. Maybe apple A is big and apple B is small. However, when you put them side by side, you can already give your own interpretation that apple A is bigger in relation to apple B. Nothing is inherently good or bad until we correlate them. This law is all about being multi-perspective. This means that you should always seek explanations using different lenses. You might think that you're poor, but it's only because you are surrounded by wealthy friends. 10. The Law of Polarity. When you hear about the law of polarity, it is important to remember its main message that everything in this universe has its own opposite: good, bad, love, hate, up, down. This is especially helpful in times when you feel like everything is going downhill in your life. The law of polarity will help you realize that it can't rain forever. You will always find a silver lining because that's how the universe works. Sadness today, happiness tomorrow. 11. The law of rhythm. The law of rhythm focuses on cycles. It teaches that just like nature, everything in our lives has its own season. Consequently, it tells us that nothing is permanent as well. From nature to our own selves, we are all bound to undergo changes. This is why we are always reminded to cherish the present. So learn to always appreciate the good things that you have now, but never hold on to it. In the same way, the bad things in your life right now are only temporary. Let go, since cycles are a natural part of our lives. You also have to take note that you can never stay the same way you are right now. Somewhere, somehow, you will change. 12. The law of gender. The law of gender tackles the two major types of spiritual energy: masculine energy and feminine energy. This universal law encourages us to balance these two energies within us. Having an overflow of one energy over the other is something that we need to address immediately. The balance between the masculine and the feminine energy is a main determinant on whether we can become fully realized individuals or not. This balancing can be quite a task, especially that we live in a patriarchal society. We have always been told to be strong and not show emotions. Machismo has been a standard for strength. Applying the 12 laws of the universe to your life. Now that you already know the 12 spiritual laws of the universe, it is important to know that applying them to your life does not mean strictly going by the books. What's important is that you fully understand the concept behind each law. This will allow you to personalize them in a way that tailor-fits your situation. Remember that all of these laws are made to complement each other, so feel free to use a combination of two or more when dealing with a problem.